Welcome to Ohio Air Gun Shooter. Today we have the UMAREX HDR 68. This is a CO2 powered revolver that is in 68 caliber and it has a 5-round magazine. Today we're just going to do some velocity testing, which will include testing of the amount of energy that this revolver has. I believe it was posted as a 7.5 joule model, but we'll find out. I'm just going to be shooting some rubber steel balls, and then I have these rubber steel shells. And I'll be using the X-Radar chronograph to measure velocity. We'll be using UMAREX brand 12 gram CO2 cartridges. And I'm going to weigh some of these projectiles. They were claimed as 7 grams, but I like to get the actual weights, being that the differences in weight of the projectile will affect velocity. So far, all of these are coming in at under the 7 grams. They're reading 6.9 to 6.93. So we'll just go 6.9 grams. Now the rubber steel shells. These are claimed to be 6 grams. I had to quickly reset my scale. It is calibrated, but I think some residue gets built up on the little plate there and kind of affects the weight sometimes. So I just reset it. It probably needs wiped off. Now these all seem to be weighing in about 6.2, 6.3 grams. The heaviest was close to 6.4. So I'm just gonna round to 6.3 grams. So now if there's any fluctuations in velocity, we'll kind of have an idea as to why. I'm going to shoot 10 rounds of each, and in between I'll change out CO2 cartridges. We'll start with the rubber steel balls. I have 10 of those already loaded up in the magazines. I only have 3 magazines, so we'll change out later. My cat Gizmo, he's checking out the backstop that I just threw together for this test. All seems to be good. Thank you. And as always, no animals were harmed in the making of this video. First up, the rubber steel balls. These are 6.9 grams weighed. The indoor temperature is 72 degrees Fahrenheit, and I had the CO2 cartridge in my pocket to help warm it up a bit. First shot, 136 feet per second. That one went up to 146 feet per second. And the same. Down to 140. And back up to 142. I miscounted. Here are your averages. Next 5 shots, rubber steel balls. Again, 6.9 grams weighed. Same CO2 cartridge. 126 feet per second. Another 126. And a third 126. That one went up to 136 feet per second. And the last shot is 124 feet per second. So here are your averages for the second 5 shots. Fresh CO2 loaded up, and next we'll be shooting these rubber steel shells, 6.3 grams weighed. (146 feet per second). Another 146. 144 feet per second. 144 feet per second. And down a bit to 134 feet per second. So we're definitely getting some consistent velocities. Here are your averages. Next 5 rounds on the same CO2 cartridge. Always index it, make sure it rotates fine. Shot number 6. 152 feet per second. So that's the highest yet. Down to 136 feet per second. Another 136 feet per second. Back up to 138. And then down to 134. So definitely pretty steady velocities. Here are your averages again for the last 5 shots. Little size comparison with the HDR 68 compared to my other 2 large air guns. I got this Cyber gun. It's an L6 model, Desert Eagle. It's plastic and metal. And then I have this all metal L5 model, WE Desert Eagle. The HDR 68 is definitely longer, larger, but it's comes in at half the weight of each. So if you're a fan of big guns like I am, definitely add these to your collection. So the UMAREX HDR 68. Definitely underpowered for home defense, but not too much power for if you want to shoot paintballs. Here, just want to show you some trigger differences between the triggers. Like with the UMAREX models, the has a trigger safety, and the trigger pull is very nice, and it's one fluid motion. It kind of just seems to rotate and fire at the same time. The timing seems to be very well. Now with the Mercury Rise TR50 torpedo, it has like almost a double function trigger. It rotates, then it fires. So you got that gap in between, which would definitely affect your velocity if you're shooting. Anyhow, please like and subscribe. And I thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos. Thank you.